Good morning, one and all present here. On behalf of St. Madrasa Engineering College, I welcome all the participants and our resource person, Mr. Arul. It's my privilege to introduce Mr. Arul. He completed his BE in the field of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in the year of 1982 from Government College of Engineering, Coimbatore. He also pursued Master of Business Administration in the field of Human Resource Management from Annamalai University. He also pursued PhD in Safety in Chemical Industries from Annamalai University. He worked more than 31 years in industrial safety and health in Government of Tamil Nadu. He last held a position as Additional Director of Industrial Safety and Health, Coimbatore. He finally retired from government service on 31/5/2018. He held various positions like Vice President of the Coimbatore Productivity Council and Chairman National Safety Council Coimbatore, Academic Council member of Government College of Technology Coimbatore, Honorary Advisor Steadfast Safety Solutions Coimbatore. He also a life member in National Safety Council of India, Mumbai, life member in Safety Engineers Association, Chennai, life member in Coimbatore Productivity Council, Coimbatore, member of Indian Officers Association, Chennai. I request knowledge from him. I hand over to Mr.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, region. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I am thanking the management of Mother Teresa Engineering College for giving this opportunity to give a lecture on electrical safety, which is very much essential for everybody, because without electricity we cannot live today. The electricity plays a very important role in home, in commercial establishments, in factories, in the development of country in as a whole. Regarding electricity, it is very useful, and also it is having very much hazard. So if we are not handling in a proper way, it will make harm to human and also for the property. So it is very much useful to know about the electrical parameters as well as how to use electricity safely. So in this 50 minutes session, we are going to give some facts about the electricity and the safe practices we have to adopt when using the electricity as in home as well as in the industry. So in these COVID times, we know as the electrical consumption is very low in industries, but it is very much heavy in home, because all are within home, and we use all these gadgets, and the statistics shows some more accidents happened in the home during this COVID period because of use of much electricity in the home. In industry also, when the work is very heavy and the production is hectic, the activities are more. And in these recent 3 months, because of this lockdown, there is a minor electrical accidents in these industries. So in a whole, in this session, we are going to see the facts and practices about the electrical safety. So let us move on to the presentation now. I think the PPT is visible for everybody. Mr. Regan, can you confirm it?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, let us go for the first slide. Character of electricity. So everybody is having a character. We are telling when we meet a person how is character, and asking others to tell about somebody's character, or by way of familiarity we know after sometimes a person's character. Like this, electricity also is a character of electricity is a good servant but bad master. Until it is under our control and working within our control, it is a very good servant, but if it overpowers us, it is very bad master. So always we should use electricity as a servant, and we should not allow it to overcome our own commands. So the command is more important. The command is always towards electricity to serve for our well-being. We should not overpower and let to overpower the electricity to make harm to us. So I told that electricity is hazardous also. We have to deal with it carefully. The hazards of electricity usually electric shock, electric burns, electric fire, explosion. So these four ways the electricity is harmful to the society, that is for persons as well as for the property. So in these four ways, the electricity is harmful, it is danger. So you see, the electric burn injury, it is taken lively in my experience. So the person working with a hand tool, the hand tool, there is connectivity leaked through the body of the hand drilling machine, and the current passes through his body to the earth as he is not wearing any shoes or chappals. This is the burn injury he got. So this is also an electrical burn. It is happened while he is removing a fuse from a fuse link. It flashes and it causes this injury. So what this type of electrical injury is, because of the tissues are damaged, it cannot be cured fully. It will have many scars and it will take more time for healing. So it is very, very harmful, and through these tissues, some bacteria and virus contamination also going there, and the person may also end with fatal if it is not attended to. Okay, this is another fact, severity of electric shock. I think everybody would have experienced an electric shock, isn't it? Myself also experienced electric shock. Everybody would have experienced electric shock. Everyone will have their own experience. And the thing is, only after getting the electric shock only, you know something, you have getting shock from that electric circuit. Until then, you would not have been known about it. So electric shock, what you have experienced, I think is very, very low in nature. If it is very high in nature, you would have caused some injury, or you will not be at present to attend this seminar. So the electricity experience is very, very low in nature. How we determine the severity of electric shock? So this is a very fundamental phenomena. If you know this only, we can go further for studying the electrical safety. So the electric shock is experienced when you touch a live wire with a current passing electricity wire. The passage of current flow in the human body is a very crucial thing. The part of the body in which the current flows is also important. The vital organs like brain, heart, lungs, the liver and kidney, lungs, these are the vital parts. If the current passes through these vital portions, the severity will be heavy. Whenever a electric shock occurs, we form the part of an electrical circuit. Otherwise, the shock won't occur us. When we pass the electric current through our body to the earth, then only we are experiencing a shock. So which part of the body we are touching, and from which part of the body we are conducting the electricity to the earth is the vital thing. If you are the very much sensitive portion of our body is ear. If you touch a live wire near the ear, the severity will be very, very much more than touching by any other portion of the body. And also, if an electrical wire falls on your head, it straightly go to the earth through your brain, heart, lungs, as well as kidney, and it is going to the earth. So it touches all over the vital portions of the body. Immediately the death occurs. If you experience an electric shock in the leg, or you are touching a live wire in the leg portion will pass, the current will pass through the leg to the earth, the severity will be less. So the passage of current flow in the human body is a vital phenomena to find out the severity of the electric shock. Then the pressure of contact. The contact, the electricians usually, to know whether there is electric current in the wire or equipment body, they will touch that what is called that equipment by rear portion of our fingers. Immediately they will take it out, because the time of flow of current is very, very low, and the touching is very, very, very light manner. The press, there will be no pressure. But in case if you are carrying a live wire, or you are holding a live wire with firm hands, the pressure of contact will be more. The current flowing your body from the hand to the earth will be more, and the pressure of contact is also a phenomenon. And third one is the voltage and the current of the circuit. So if the household voltage is, we know, all 230, and the current flow is normally about 5 ampere in our home circuit. If it is more than 5 ampere, the MCB will be tripping. And also the voltage and current, we know V by R equal to I, and the resistance of our body, voltage and current are interrelated. The Ohm's law says that the amount of current passing is proportional to the resistance and voltage of the circuit. So if voltage is increasing, the current will increase for the same contact. If the voltage is minimum, the current will be minimum. That's why in inspection lamps, when we are going for inspect any equipment or anybody else, the voltage is limited to 24 volt DC. So for 24 volt DC, the current passing through the body is very minimum. It won't affect our human body. So this is the third phenomenon. Fourth one is body resistance to current flow. So our every human body is having a resistance called in ohms, and any current passing through the body is resisted by the body, and remaining current is flown through the earth. So body resistance varies with the various parameters when the various working conditions, various that is climate also. So the body resistance is also for each and everybody. The body resistance will vary also. For the person who are not experienced much shock, another person he will experience a much shock. That is the difference between the resistance of the body. So these four are the determining the severity of an electrical shock. So we are talking about the body resistance. So the same body skin is having various resistance according to the climatic conditions. The dry skin, usually our body is having 1 lakh ohm to 6 lakh ohm. Ohm is the resistance measurement. When it is the body is wet skin, when we are bathing, or we are in the wet in the rain, or we are working a hard work, the body is sweat, the resistance is bringing very low to 1000 ohms. So the same voltage applied to when we are dry skin, the current flow through the body will be very much low. But if you are in the wet skin, the same voltage is applied, the current flow through the body will be 50 to 100 times than the dry skin. So wet skin is more susceptible for danger. That's why in the rainy season, if we touch in live electrical wire, it is immediately we are causing death. The third one is the part of the body from which to which the current flows is hand to hand. Hand to hand is 400 to 600 ohm. So if you are touching the any iron part and touching any live wire, the resistance is only to 400 to 600 ohm. So 200 time currents for dry skin body flow, and death will be immediately done. The year to year, the resistance will be very less, it is 100 ohms. So if you touch your 1 year to the some wall or some earthing part and another area to the live wire, it is instantaneous death will occur because enormous current flow through the body. So depending upon the same body position, the resistance will vary according to the conditions, dry skin, wet skin, and the part of the body also. So next one is the amount of current flow. We say the amount of current as in ampere. Usually our tube lamp or fan or TV is drawing normally 1 ampere. So milliampere is 1/10 of ampere is called 1000 of ampere is called milliampere. So the current flowing through the body is 1 to 10 milliampere means we will just flow the electricity like this touching a dry cell in the tank or cycle dynamo wire. It will have a small amount of pricking, that is 1 to 10 milliampere. And 10 to 30 milliampere contraction of muscle will occur, and it is in next stage. That's why if you touch an electric wire, holding the electric wire, because of the contraction of the muscles, we cannot release that wire from that, that we cannot take out the fingers out because the contraction of the muscles. So we continue to hold the wire, and the current is passing for a long time, and it will end with death. So 30 to 50 milliampere. So stoppage of heartbeat and breathing. It will occur, it is temporarily stoppage of heartbeat and breath will stop. In that stage, if you release a person immediately, you can artificial respiration may be engaged to again restart heartbeat and birthing. That is in this stage, 30 to 50 milliampere stage. If it is more than 50 milliampere and above, the body will try to burn. After burning, we cannot save the person because of the burn wound, and all inside part, the tissue should have damage. So 50 milliampere for more than 5 seconds will definitely the person will die. So this is the danger about electric current, the amount of electric current in this human body. So what we go is just how to prevent the electrical hazards. So we know all these electrical hazards are happening here and there. How to prevent, how we can take precautions. So proper insulation of wires and fittings. Insulation is a material which won't conduct electricity. The thing is, whenever a current is flowing in a circuit or in a wire, there will be always a curtain between the human and as well as the current conducting wire. Always there should be a curtain. The curtain should be of a material which is not conducting electricity. It is called an insulator. For example, rubber, plastic, these are all insulators. So material PVC, rubber, these are good insulators. The wires and fittings should be insulated with this PVC or rubber to have insulation and make a strong curtain between human body and the live electrical wire. We should not have remove curtain in any case. If you remove the curtain and making contact, then we experience a shock. That is the thing. Then proper fuse, wire fuse, HRC fuse, MCB, miniature circuit breaker. HRC is high rupturing capacity fuses. These are all type of fuses. These fuse should be to the rating of the equipment we are using. So if you are using 5 ampere mean the fuse carriers or circuit breaker should be of 5 amperes. It should not be more than that because it won't protect. Earth leakage circuit breaker, this is a very good and very novel, useful the circuit breaker equipment we should have installed in our every home and also in industry. Because if a person in the olden days, if a person is getting a shock, the circuit won't trip. But now it is, if you experience a shock, immediately the entire circuit will trip because of this earth leakage ELCB. It is called ELCB. It is costing about some 400 to 600 rupees, good company. If it is not installed in any of your lab or what is called classroom or mains or home or any other equipment, we have to install earth leakage circuit breaker to save in case of getting shock. And this isolation transformer is used for earthing. Before earthing, this isolation transformer used because the current flowing through the isolation transformer is much more than the human body. If any earthing body is okay, we are touching the body, the current will flow through that transformer and proper earthing, and we will be saved. That will I will explain later. And the lockable main switches. When we are taking a maintenance work, the main switch should be locked and the key should be taken with the person who are making repair. And after repairing, the person should come and open and switch on the supply. If it is not there, the person, the two person operating, one person while working, the person would have operate that. And a lot of death is occurring in electricity board, Tangenco, because of this miscommunication. Before the person leaving from the repairing place, the person in the other end is switched on the supply, and the person working in that repairing in that part is getting electric shock and fell on the ground, die. This every year some 50 to 60 people are dying due to this miscommunication. So lockable main switches is very important. Guarding of overhead lines. Overhead lines always in this industry or any other private place other than the street and roads. All these in-house operation or industry, inside that if you have overhead line is, it should be sleeved or it should be guarded. Because any person taking a ladder or any iron material or a heavy laden vehicle, if we touch the overhead line, the entire person gets shocked and then they will die. Double insulated hand tools. It is double insulated means, for example, we see the mixie grinder in our house. They are having 3 pins, but if you have TV, the TV having only 2 pins, only phase and neutral. Why it is not having earth, that is ground terminal means the TV is double insulated. The circuit inside that won't touch any part of the body. So it is double insulated because it won't require the 3rd pin, ground pin. But in grinder and mixie, the motor is earthed to the body and the body is earthed to the ground terminal, and the ground terminal is the 3rd pin in that socket. So double earthing is always safe for hand tools. A low voltage, wherever we go in our country, 230 is the voltage we are using, but in UK 110 volt is the voltage, because when you reduce the voltage, this for the same resistance, the current flowing in the body will be reduced. So they are using 110 volt and they are having transformer in each house. Heavy voltage will come up to the house and the transformer will reduce the voltage to the 110 volt. But we are not having that much facility to provide transformer everywhere in house. So we are our line is coming up to transformer 11,000 volt and it is reduced to 440 volt in the single phase 230 volt. Below that we are not having a common distribution system. So reduce the voltage for hand operated lamps, for inspection lamps, reduce the voltage to 24 volt. In the case of 24 volt, our human resistance is in lakhs, and if you even touch the wire, the current of flowing through the body will be in the order of 10 milliampere or less. So we will be not having any heavy electric shock. So using of low voltage is an tactics to reduce the hazard. Avoid loose wiring, avoid long extension cords. So wherever you go, don't use long extension cords. Plug nearest point and take the supply. Use proper plugs and switches. So without proper plugs and switches, we should not operate. And inserting a bare wire into that socket, it is a very harmful, and it will make an electric short when if you having some careless times. Use rubber mats for control panels. I told that if the body if the in a circuit the body should be a part of the circuit, then only we experience the electric shock. Through our body the current flows to the earth. If you use a rubber mats under the control panel and other places, nation places, if you stand on it, rubber is an insulator, and even the current flow through our body, it won't reach there and we won't experience shock. So we should use the rubber floor in our workplaces. Use proper tools. So this is one of the thing. We should not use improper tools for the, we have to correct rated multimeter, ammeter or voltmeter or any other tool, proper tool we have to use. Periodic testing of wires, fittings, tools, earthing equipment. So it should be periodically tested for its insulation or any other loose contacts. For any other thing we have to, and earthing we have to, periodic testing should be there. Use approved quality materials. In this time in India, no electrical goods should be supplied or sold without an ISI mark. It should have a Bureau of Indian Standards standard, and it should have an ISI mark only it should be sold. So when you go to purchase any electrical equipment or any electrical item, ensure that it is whether it is having ISI mark, then only you have to purchase. Otherwise we need not purchase that, not that is low quality materials. Avoid storage of flammable material in power room and near control panels. Wherever this electricity is there, we should not place nearby any flammable material like cotton or oil or any other thing near the power room or even below the switches or main distribution boards. So provide lightning arresters. In our recent times, day before yesterday, I think 2 days back, in North India, in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, 83 persons died out of lightning in a single day, single incident. So various places, and one place 13 people are died in a one lightning stroke. So it is very dangerous to have that is at that raining time to be in the nearby that is under a tree or in the rain. We should be in a house which is protected by this roof. So the lightning arrestor is somewhat protecting us. If it is heavy, rather than heavy, it may not protect us. Or we have the second opinion that the lightning arrestor is inviting the trouble. So there is two concepts are there. But where there is industrial complex and other things, lightning arrestor is must, because this light current coming through the air, lightning will pass on to the earth without harming any electrical fire or any other thing. So lightning arrestor should be provided. Use safety belt while working at heights. Working at height, there is two harms. One is by slippery, the person may fall from the height and die, or while attending the electrical repair, he may have the mild shock and he will lose his stable position and he will fall from the ground. To protect him, we have to use safety belt to avoid any falling due to electric shock. Then proper personal protective equipments. We have to use that is proper means for electricity. We cannot use these steel helmets. We have to use PVC helmets and rubber gloves or PVC gloves for attending the electrical work, and also rubber shoes. So this is the and also goggles when you are using the that is capacitor circuits, and also we have to use goggles or face shield. So whenever we attend without proper PPE, we should not attend the work. Use proper fire extinguishers. So this is also important. The common fire extinguisher we are using is foam type or water type. For electrical fire, we should not use this type of fire, because water is a conductor of electricity. We have to go for CO2, that is carbon dioxide extinguishers, and also DCP, dry chemical powder. If the fire is on the ground or flammable material, we can use dry powder chemical. If it is very sophisticated like computer or server or like that electronic items, we have to use only CO2, because DCP will harm that circuits also. So we have to use CO2 or DCP fire extinguishers for electrical fire. We should know it. So provide rubber boot for ladders. So whenever you are using ladder to attend to the electrical work, it should be having rubber boot. Even you are having electric current flow through our body, it won't be getting earthed through ladder if it is having rubber shoes. So always work with isolation. Electrical work always we should be attended only with a helper. We should not go lonely and work in the electrical circuit, because even in case of any electrical shock we are experienced, then a neighboring person may have access to save you, and he should be there, or he has to go and stop the main supply, or seeking help. So the electrical work should be attended with helper only. So what I told is earthing. Earthing is a phenomena that even if a load is, the body of the load is touched with this bare electrical wire, the current conducting through that body, if we touch, we may be the part of the circuit as shown in the figure. Okay, if our body is having a resistance, we told that is for 1 lakh ohms. If you bypass this body current through a very low resistant wire, then the current will pass through that low resistance wire, and it won't pass through our body. It will pass, but it will be in the nano ampere or 1 milliampere, 2 milliampere level only. It won't make any much harm to human body. So the current is directly proportional to the resistance. If the resistance is very low, like copper wire or any other very low resistant material, connect to the body of the equipment, it will directly bypass the current through the thing. So this is the phenomena of earth. That is the importance of the earth. So wherever we go, we should ensure whether the equipment is having proper earthing, and the earthing also should be tested, and it should not be more than 2 ohms, or it should not exceed 5 ohms at any case. So if it is 5 ohm of resistance, the current passing through the body of the load or equipment will pass, major amount of the current will pass only through the earth circuit. If you touch, it will pass through our body to a minimum level, but as our resistance is more, we will be protected by the electric from the electric shock. This is the earthing. So earthing is a very good phenomena, and also in our grinder or mixer or in our household equipment also, the ground wire is acting, they part of the earth. All the ground wires are connected, and it is earthed properly. We won't get any electric shock from the grinder or mixer or any other household items. So that is the importance of the earthing. The earthing a big floating circuit using isolation transformer. If you put the isolation transformer from the energy source and we are conducting this, we will also be protected. Excess current will be going through the isolation transformer to the earth. So this was, we are having some hectic time with these facts of this electrical current and other things. We'll go for a lighter side now. So the thermal power station is the major base load in our electrical system, and it is the turbine house of a thermal power station where the electricity is generated. The electricity is generated at 11,000 volts. That is alternating current, and the current is stepped up. This is the turbine, and this is the generator. It's called alternator, which is having this. This yellow wire is called hydrogen supply. That is a protection mechanism for this fire retarding material, fire retarding system. So this generator generates 11,000 volt, and it is stepped up by its transformers to the peak level of 400 kilovolt, now even at 750 kilovolt for transmission. You see many transmission lines crisscross in our field, and when we are going passing through that, very tower lines are having different values. They are 230 kilovolt and 400 kilovolt, and now the line is running is 750 kilovolt. What is the main thing of that is increasing the amount of voltage for transmission? If you increase the voltage for transmission, the loss in the transmission will be reduced. That is the phenomena. We are increasing, that is step upping the voltage of the transmission. And again, also in the user side, in the substation, the voltage will be stepped down to 33 kV, 22 kV, 11 kV, and the 11 kV is taken to all the transformers within this our local area, and from the transformer, three-phase supply is given 440 volt, and single phase supply is at 230 volt. That is arriving in our house. That is the electrical system in this. This is the control room in a thermal power station, which all is controlled by computerized control, frequency control and voltage control. Everything is governed here, and this is every abnormalities in the power station will be known from this control room. Okay, coming to our normal life pattern and working place. This is a typical photograph taken in a work site, not having any cover in the starter. You see how much dangerous this is. All live wires, live studs, live thing is there. Anybody touch it, immediately he will experience a shock. This is a very dangerous position. So this is also a welding transformer without earthing. Without earthing, welding transformer is there, then we will experience a shock if you touch the electrode. So this is also dangerous. So this is what I told, the double insulated electric handrail. So previously we are having a metal body of electric handrail, and the three wire will be there. The third ground will be connected to the metal body of that handrail. The thing is, the ground wire, even if the ground wire not having connection or disconnected, the drilling machine will operate, because in case of failure only, in case of earthing only, the ground earthing is having its importance. So the earth connectivity should be always tested periodically for its connectivity. If you are not testing that ground to body connection, if it is disconnected, we may not know, because even in that condition, the handrail will be operated. Only we are experiencing the shock in this time, it won't help us. So we will go for this double insulated body, which the current inside that equipment won't touch the body in any case. So we are using only 2 pins, phase and neutral. So this is the body earthing. It's a metal handrail, and there will be a ground connectivity from the body to the earth. So that should be inserted in a 3-pin plug. Through that ground, it will go to the earth. So this is what I told. We should not use this type of practice anywhere under any emergency or any other thing. This is very, very dangerous, and we should use only with chocolate. So this is what I told is lockout tagout system. if it is locked out, then the supply won't coming to the equipment even if you switch on the green button. After locking this, you will repair the work and come in and open the switch. So this is the earth pit. What I told is the earth is carrying the current from the leakage current from the body of the equipment directly to the earth, avoiding the current to flow from our human body even if we touch the equipment. This is the role of the earth. So the earthing is done in an earth pit so as the resistance should be very low, and this earth pit should be 3 to minimum 2-meter depth of highly conducting aluminum GI pipe, and it should be with salt and what is called carbon. It should be inside this, and the earth pit should not have any grass or greenery, and it should be made with this granite, and it should be always made wet frequently to have a better connectivity or better low resistance. This earth resistance should be measured by an equipment called Megger, and the Megger should not be more than, Megger reading should not be more than 5 ohm in any case. If it is very well within the 5 ohm, then the earthing is proper. So we should ensure that earth resistance should be below 5 ohm for effective conducting of electricity through to the earth. So this is the earthing rod. If you work in a system or a line system, if using the earthing rod, usually these EB people will use it, this electricity board. This earth rod will be connected to the live wire and the ground, or this earth, direct earth, and any current, even if passing through that live wire, the current will pass through this earth rod and protect the person working in that circuit or equipment. So this is the earthing rods. You see that earthing rod is dropped. If a person is working in the transformer or these circuit breakers, even if the current is switched on or for some reasons, the current will straightly go to the earth through the earthing rod, saving the person working in the circuit breaker. So this is what I told is ELCB and MCB. What is the difference between MCB and ELCB? Before that, what is the difference between fuse link and MCB? Fuse link, we know all, it is a porcelain thing which is having two points, and the link will be joined. The link is in a special alloy. It is not a wire like copper wire or aluminum wire. We know this is a very essential thing I want to tell you. The fuse link is an alloy which allows 5 ampere means which allow 5 amperes, and after 5 ampere, in 5.5 ampere means it will melt and it will disconnect. But if it is a wire of copper or aluminum, it will heat at 5 ampere, it will red hot at 10 ampere, and it will blow at 15 ampere. That is the difference between fuse link and wire, ordinary wire. So fuse link is a safe equipment. We have to remove the fuse link, and again we have to connect the link and replace it, and the circuit will be switched on. But in this MCB, miniature circuit breaker, if the circuit breaker is tripping, immediately if you throw the knob to the higher level or on position, the circuit will be resumed. It is a very easy, safe operation, and the MCB may be used for any time of tripping, any number of tripping, it will be made on by using a simple throw to the on side. So this is an advantage. What is ELCB means? Earth leakage circuit breaker. It is having a function of overload protection as well as earth leakage protection. If anybody touching and getting shock in any equipment or thing, if the earth current passing through our body is more than 15 to 20 milliampere, this earth leakage circuit breaker will trip off the entire supply to the house. So it is a very safe mechanism. It is our cost is from 400 to 600 rupees, and we have to fit it. Is single phase, 3 phase is available. We have to fit it in our house, and we can test it periodically whether it is functioning or not. by pushing a button in the earth leakage circuit breaker itself. So it is a very, very protection mechanism for any leakage current. If you provide it, you will be safe in the house. So HRC is higher experience. This is what I call the blowing. When the very heavy current is flowing, these fuse should not blow and it should not make any flame. So in that case, we are using these high rupturing capacity fuses. So this is a very big circuit breaker, what I call the miniature circuit breaker. This is a circuit breaker in a big industry which is using high voltage equipments. So this is a crane operated, 3-phase crane operated, yellow, red, yellow, blue. 3-phase line is on the side and it is sleeved. The connection will be on that side. Anybody touching in this also won't experience any shock. So lightning arrestor. So lightning arrestor is a very safe equipment. If you provide the building and the other equipment in the house will be saved if you use this lightning arrestor, and it should be properly the Franklin, what is called the Franklin rod and the device. The grid should be calculated and the design should be calculated. How many lightning arrestors to be provided, how length the Franklin rod should be, how the size of the earthing, what is called earthing flat or earthing wire should be, what is the capacity, everything should be designed for a particular building or industry, and it should be installed in such a way. There are persons to have experienced in and they are doing this technical aspect of work for providing this lightning arrestor available, and with the technical guidance we should provide for any building or college or any other industry. Okay, this I want to tell before coming to ending position. So electrical fire, we all now see about the shock. Electric shock is the main subject what we have dealt till now. Now we are coming to the electrical fire. Electrical fire is, the causes of electrical fire is faulty outlets and the appliances. So outlets and appliances, if it is faulty, then it will make a heat inside and the equipment will itself will have a fire, and because of that equipment the neighboring flammable material and the fire will be break in a very big way. For example, if an electric iron we are using, it is not having a proper what is insulation failure and other things, the heat limit switch will be burned and the heat will be enormously producing inside and it will burn. The electrical iron will burn and the cloth will also burn and the fire will emanate in a big way like that. So light fixes, in the light this tube light or incandescent lamp like that, if it is blowing or something else, the spark will flow from the light fitting to the ground. In the ground, if there is any flammable material, it will catch the fire. What I experienced in my industrial experience, many electrical accidents are happening due to non-working hours. That is mainly in the night hours, where there is nobody is present in that time. If we see, they immediately put off the fire and it will not be noticed at all. But in the night time, if you any blowing or the sparking is falling on the falling on that flammable material to catch fire, the fire will spread to entire factory. So extension cords. So extension cord means it is having a very low capacity. If you use much bigger or drawing of more current in these extension cords, it will heated and it will burn. So by this way, this electric fire will occur. Heaters, electrical heaters. What I told is like iron box and heaters also a coil. If there is no water, the coil will it is red hot and the body will get heated and nearby material will be also getting fire. Improper wiring. So improper meaning house is having some or industry is having some 30 years, 40 years old. The insulation material had getting brittled and the insulation itself will catch fire because of that property of the PVC is lost and due to heat the material will get itself fire and the fire will break out. So short circuit. So the H is missing. SHORT, short circuit. Short circuit means phase and neutral will join together. If the safety device tripping mechanism is not working, it will produce enormous heat and spark. You may see near the transformer in our village or town, a spark will appear in the junction points or near in the transformer connections, jumble, what is called jumpers. So that is a spark. When a short circuit occurs, it will catch fire in nearby points. Rat reptiles inside the motor or switchboard. For a long time we are using the motor and some reptiles or rat will be inside. When you switch on, that rat will burn and it will create the fire. So these are all the causes, main causes. And also another point is overloading. If you cable is for a capacity is there, if you are adding and adding more and more appliances like motors and other things, the rated capacity of the cable will be less and it will draw more current, means it will be heated and it will catch fire. So overloading is one of the cause for rectifier. These are all the causes, and this is the science how we can, what are the signs of a rectifier means persistent burning smell and we cannot find where. So any fire, if it is going to have smoke or like that, we know it's a firing. But in electric fire, if it is inside, we may not see that fire. Only by smelling, burn smelling only we can assess that there is a fire. So breakers keep tripping. If a fire is going to start, then the circuit breaker will trip. If we switch on and engage the circuit breaker again and again, if it is again and again tripping, we have to go and see each and every equipment, which equipment getting heated or which equipment is firing. So in that way, breakers keep tripping means there may be a chance for fire. So charred, discolored switches and outlet. So the fire may be for a short time and may char the discoloring the switches and other things. The fire would have put off by itself. But in a course of time, again and again this charring is occurring. One day the fire will emanate in a huge way. So if we check these switches and outlets, if there is charging or black color or discolored thing, we have to attend and we have to find out what is the wrong in that area and we have to repair it. So heated surface of equipments. So like in the cotton mill like that, if the motor body is very much heated to a red hot and a cotton fluff is falling under that motor, immediately to catch fire, that fire will spread to entire factory. So flickering of this very dangerous thing. If a lamp is flickering, immediately it should be removed from that holder, or we have to switch off that lamp. We should not allow any lamp flickering position. At any time it may emanate spark to the nearby inflammable materials. So these are all the how to find out these electric fire, this thing. So we are using, to avoid this, we are using flame proof electrical fittings. Any heat or anything inside, the flame won't come out of these devices. So this is a flame proof electrical lightings. So this flame proof tube lightings. So this is one. So these are flame proof motors used in the industries. So any flame motors and electrical fittings are hermetically sealed to prevent the spark, if any, from coming in contact with the electrical external inflammatory or explosive surrounding. Use FLP motors and electrical fittings wherever highly flammable liquids or gases are handled and stored. So this rubber mat. In the control panel, this rubber mat, these are small width, it should be along it like this. So this rubber mat provide any leakage current in any part. If you touch, if the body of the having any current, it won't cross through you to the earth. So it will protect, it will act as a shield. So like this. So this is safety belt. Wherever we are working the height for attending electrical work, we have to use this safety belt, and that the rope should be tied to a fixed rigid angle or that is structure. And even if you fall, it the belt will protect you from falling to the earth. So this is a PVC helmet. Normal helmet is something different. It is taken sail factory. It's a PVC helmet used for electrical maintenance. So this is rubber gloves. Electricians rubber gloves. We should not use normal gloves for this. We should use rubber gloves only to protect. So this is CO2 fire extinguishers which should be used in case of electrical fire. So this is lightning. About lightnings from these are the different various this lightning, this type of lightnings are there, and this small brief about the lightning. It's a discharge of electric current between the earth and storm clouds built up in the atmosphere during a storm. On the earth, positive charges are attracted by it and strain up from roof edges, lighting poles, antennas, etc., packing up to 100 million volts and between 35,000 to 40,000 amperes of current of electricity, and can generate temperatures as high as 50,000 degrees centigrade. Imagine if it touched our building or thing with 50,000 degrees centigrade, what will happen? Comparable to that of a small nuclear reactor. So lightning has the power to rip through roofs, explode walls of brick and concrete, and ignite deadly fires. Lightning surges throughout the power lines, causing wire damage and destruction of valuable electronic equipment, including computer, television, stereos, security systems, etc. Even if it is a low density or powered lightning, it will damage many of the things. Recently, from Tambaram area, some a lot of houses in TV and other things are also damaged in last month, I think so. The voltage and current rises from peak typically vary between 1 to 10, that is amperes per first stroke, and from 0.1 to the subsequent. So then we will go to first set. I think if you have any time to go through this, we can go. Mr. Reagan, I can proceed or we will close.
You may proceed, sir.
Okay. So for first aid for electrical accidents is electrocution. For electrocution, what is the first aid? First, we have to think the passage of electric current through the body may result in severe or fatal injuries. That is the main phenomena. The current flow through is due to contact with low, high voltage or lightning. The current flow can cause swelling of heart muscles, fibrillation, and stoppage of heart, and subsequently cessation of breathing. This is the thing what we have gone through. Handling an appliance with wet hand or wet floor increases the risk of injury. Lightning is a natural source of electricity with high voltage and current for short duration. So for lightning, there is no remedy at all. It is only thing is before raining and after raining for half an hour, we should not go out, or we should not be in a wet part, or we should not be under any green trees, or we should not be in the field, the cultivated field, paddy field, or any other thing. This is the precaution we can take. If it is cloudy and some lightning is seen by our naked eyes, we immediately leave that field. We should not stand before under the green trees. We should come to a shadow place or in a under roof. We should be keep ourselves under roof. This is the precaution we can take in case of lightning period. Apart from that, it is a natural calamity, means it is no like earthquake. Lightning is also a very big disaster which man cannot control. Okay. So if a person is affected by an electric shock due to while working in the operating hand tool, so we should stand on a paper which is immediately available in that place. The paper is an insulator, and the shoe also an insulator, and the stick what she is having also an insulator. We should ensure that all the things are insulators, non-conducting electricity materials. So we just remove this contact of the human body from the live wire. That is the first thing. Or if you are very well known, the main switch is nearby, immediately we should switch off the new power supply as a whole. Whichever is possible, immediately we have to switch it. If it is possible to switch off the supply immediately, we should do it. Or the switch is far away, we must remove the person from contacting from that circuit. So this is the thing which will disconnect the person from the live wire. Remove to the treat for the burn injury, remove to the hospital or sick. So this is the thing. So what it is live wire, transmission live wire. He is touching it. We should not go 18 meters or 20 yards. We should not go nearby, because in the wet condition, this one of the gradient, this electrical gradient is called. The gradient voltage is here, it will be some 22,000 or 32,000, 33,000 voltage you say. If it is a wet area, the voltage slowly, the gradient is slow, and in this place it will be order of 100 volt. Okay. If the person is coming nearby, the voltage will also increase in this place. It will be in the order of 2500, 2600 volt. If you place his leg at that point and place another leg in this position, the voltage between two legs will form a voltage barrier or electromotive force, which will circulate a current in the body. So due to that current, the person will get shock and he will fall and die. So in this wet area or wet condition, the person should not go near the person without assessing the situation. So we treat this live wire, and the potential gradient will be slowly coming reduced to this area. He should not coming near to this position. It should be maintained at least 50 meters. So see that and make a phone call to an emergency call number or 108 to save the person. So this is one of the number. So this is the resuscitation. Resuscitation, what I told is 30 to 50 milliampere. If the person is getting shocked, the heart supply and lung supply will get stopped and momentarily. If you you will be dying, but he is not clinically dying. All other portions will be in the warm condition. So if you restart that heart, he will again he will come to normal. So this artificial respiration is to be given. This is the main first aid for electrical accidents. The first aid is the best aid for electrical accidents. Even we are rushing towards the hospital very quickly, within 10 minutes, it won't serve the purpose. Immediately we should initiate the artificial respiration, and until the doctor arrives, we can continue to give the resuscitation to that fellow, to this victim, because there are cases resuscitation is given 45 minutes till the doctor arrives. The person is saved by administering oxygen. After the doctor is arriving, the fellow escaped and saved. So don't stop immediately losing hope until the doctor arrives. You can continue this resuscitation properly in a proper method. The first aid trained persons may be known, or all electrical operators or any person should know how to make artificial respiration. Okay. So this is a method how we are conducting these things. Straight away the thing, and whether he is having pulse or thing, and there is warning at back of the throat, tongue dropped back, narrowed passage. Open the mouth and remove any foreign material or saliva vomit with the fingers or use the handkerchief. Do not spend too much time in doing this. Place one hand under the casualty's neck and other hand on the forehead and tilt the head backward to straightening this passage. This will extend to the head and neck portion of the airway, that is called airway, Push the chin upwards until the clear airway. Open your mouth wide. Take a deep breath. Pinch the nose with your fingers to prevent the air from going out. Seal your lips around the mouth and blow into the casualty's lung until the chest rises to a maximum expansion. If the chest balls rise, adjust the position of the head and jaw and try again. So checking the heartbeat. You again check the heartbeat and again push in the prop method. Lay the casualty on the back of the flat surface. Kneel along side and casualty facing the chest and in line with the heart. Locate the lower half of the breastbone. Find the external notch. So place the heel of one hand of the center of the lower half of the breast bone, keeping your fingers off the ribs. Cover the hand with the heel of the other hand and lock the fingers together. So if you press 30 times, I think so. Place the heel of the one hand on the center of the lower half of the breastbone, keeping your fingers off the ribs. Cover the head with the heel of the other hand and lock the fingers together. So move forward until your arms are vertical, press down and lower the half of the breastbone. Then move backwards to release the pressure. Complete 15 compressions at the rate of 80 per minute. 15 compressions at the rate of 80 per minute. So 5 compressions, 1 inflation. 5 compressions, 1 inflation. So, okay. So this is a method for giving first aid, and I suggest you one thing. ABC. ABC means always be careful. ABC, and keep in mind safety first, everything next. I think this session will be hopeful, useful for you, and keep the things what you have learned from this session, and make your life fruitful without any shock or any electrical harms, electrical fire or flash or any other thing. Free from that and make use of electricity in a good way. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of our management, I thank the resource person, Mr. Arul, for sharing his wonderful, valuable time with us. I thank once again the participants for maintaining their patience, and thank you one and all. Thank you very much.